good afternoon, good evening, and good night around the world. Welcome to Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer Stage 6. I'm Kite619. I'm being joined today by Nitz. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing just great. We're becoming pretty good friends out here. Welcome to everybody out there. We've got it's been about 2 hours of seed so far this stage, and we're looking forward to some good Final Fantasy 1 randomizer action, so buckle up and get ready. Tonight's stage is part of Stage 6. It comprises a fighter and 3 white mages, and we're underway in a hurry tonight, so we'll catch you up as we go along here. Let's have a look.
Survey says nothing good in the white magic shop.
Not much indeed, and when all you got is white mages, that's gonna leave everyone a little sad. Cheap silver swords, but not cheap enough. And very affordable iron armor, so at least something nice to start this stage off.
Cheap heal potions, though, at $6 a pop.
And even cheaper pures, so that's handy. Reasonably priced houses at $1,000. Not too great, not too bad.
Well, meanwhile, Forzondo's just heading straight to TOF right now.
Yeah, it looks like Crystal's one of our entrepreneurs taking advantage of the early bridge. He's going to head to provoke it. I don't think he likes chooses against Garland without any offensive magic or a good weapon. So he says, Seal, I'll be back for you.
Well, Forzono just picked up the dragon armor, actually.
We've had a lot of that in the first couple places I've been following. You get these post-promotion items that you never get to use.
Uh, chat, chat. Can you hear us? Anyways, we are having a little technical difficulties because this is pretty much kind of having problems right now with Mike. Anyways, for those who couldn't hear me earlier, there is Aspen Blizzard, so sorry for guys if we're having technical difficulties right now. And we'll see what's in level 2. Ooh, we got life, heal 2, and exit for the white mages on level 2, so that's pretty much useful. And it looks like pirates are not carrying a single thing this time around. Ooh, so let's see what's going on right now. Well, you know, being pirates with just melee weapons is gonna be taking its toll. So,
And like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm back.
oh, thanks, Ned. So I gotta do some recapping a little bit since we kind of got muted somehow.
I don't appear to have missed too much. The world didn't end while I was gone, although I see we've made it to Provoca. Sforzando's got his ship. I've got my internet back.
And level 2 white magic is really good for the white mages.
And we've got $3,400 gold bracelets, and cheap chain isn't going to matter because we've already got iron. But the 3,400 gold bracelets is nice. Make a mental note of that because I think we'll be back.
And you know the old drill. Where you gonna go? Where you go to the dwarves, or will you go to visit Elfland to see the spells?
The age-old question. I always like popping into dwarves because you gotta pass by anyway. If you find the TNT there, you're still probably gonna double back for the magic. But if you don't, you won't know if that's where it is, and you might end up going to Marsh when you don't need to. So I do like going there first, and we'll see what everybody else does.
Well, at least the pirates are not that too bad at all.
No, nobody likes rough pirates. You can really put a damper on the game. Get some A fire here from Brilliant, not taking any chances.
No, but the shark has a good amount.
just about finished his pirates.
Tristle is.
Yeah, we were
Tris-
just carrying on. And
Yeah,
now Sho takes on his party. Sorry, go ahead. I keep interrupting you, Kaiten.
Well, Tristle is struggling like crazy right now. I've never seen him struggle this bad in the seed.
Just non-stop wolves and mad ponies on the way to Provoca. What are you going to do? Doesn't look like we have lazy dwarves.
And we got Marsh. We gotta go to Marsh.
We got Marsh, but we got Flame Sword Marsh, which should allow that fighter to cut through most of it. The only question is, what are they going to cut back with? Ooh, Sforzando runs into some nasty snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Well, did you see how much damage that blizzard did?
He reset a little too quickly for me to see, but it was in the hundreds.
No, it wasn't. It was in the thousands, actually.
No, you lie.
I think I saw 4 digits, my friend.
Well, let's hope not, but it's ugly either way. But with 16 large now, you can really stock up. The softs are pretty well priced too, so we should at least have all the curative items you could ask for at this point in the game. Finally, Crystal taking on his pirates.
I got a question for chat right now. Where do you think the TNT is gonna be? Top floor or bottom floor Marsh?
I'm calling that top right chest that nobody likes. The one that's furthest away.
I'm calling being guarded by the wizards.
Wizard chest is only maximum troll if it has the crown, and you have to complete the crown quest instead of just finding it directly. But if that's what it is, that's maximum troll. Especially if you have to come back and check the crown quests, as Platypus is suggesting.
So, Lit, should I make that whoever created the seed confession?
You may, because we're all dying to know.
I am sorry, guys, but it's my seed, so Typhoon has been unleashed.
Question from chat. No one has reached Elfland yet? Answer. That's what it appears to be. We've had some people check out the dwarves, but nobody has yet sailed south to Elfland, no.
Is Brilliant going back to provoke?
Looks like he's going to pick up some more gold bracelets. That's my hunch. Unless there was more magic that he needs. I didn't see what was in the shop. I was briefly detained by the winds of the internet. But we'll see if he does go that way.
Well, at the shop, I can tell you this much. There was life, heal, and exit in that shop. Life 2 and heal 2 to be exact.
Nice. Quick recap for anyone joining us a little bit later, having internet problems like we were. We've had no one make it to Elfland yet. It wasn't so much the pirates, as the overworld has been pretty brutal. There was no good spells or anything of the sort in Corneria, so it's taken some time to make it as far as Provoca. The pirates have been okay, and then we got Life 2 and Heal 2 in Provoca, so that's some better white magic and affordable gold bracelets, which everyone seems to be accumulating. And we're not looking at lazy pirates. We found the fire sword. Pardon me, lazy pirates. Lazy dwarves. We found the fire sword in the dwarf cave, and nothing else to worry about. So it looks like now Sforzando was the first person to make it to Elfland, and now you're all caught up.
Yeah, and level 3 magic spells were not that bad either. Level 4 got better though. Cure 4 right off the bat.
That's what we like to see. Cure 4 is like the only truly reliable curing spell that you can use late game. Nothing else really scales well enough to make a huge difference in the late game except for Cure 4.
But cheap chance, not too bad.
We also have the dragon armor in Temple of Fiends. It remains to be seen if we'll find the tail and anyone will be able to take advantage of it. Alright. And Harm 4 and Invis 2 is another gem at level 3, so quite a decent haul of white magic in Elfland. The big outlier that we haven't seen yet is Fade. We'll cross our fingers for these runners. It's at level 5, otherwise there's going to be very few charges by the time they finish the game, if it's any higher than that.
Well, if we know if Fate is at level 6, you know that AoE items must be coming into play, and spiders have hold.
Yeah, we haven't seen any yet, though, so we are hoping that we find something. No AoE items and no Fade make Homer go crazy.
And Farzaldo's down to double white mage, but he's going to revive him anyway.
Yeah, we've got lots of charges of life now, don't we? And we're going to have enough charges of Cure 4 that this is going to be one of those Hydra parties where if you want to kill the thing, you have to completely eradicate it because it can come back as long as there's a single white mage alive. I like those parties for dungeon crawling because as long as you manage to run away with somebody, you can keep the dream alive.
Was it me, or did Trista skip the loot?
I'll keep my eye open the next time he opens his items. You're always accusing people of forgetting the loot, but I think he grabbed it.
No, because I saw a stream. He said you just went straight for the king and just went down. That's it.
Well, we'll know when he gets to the Temple of Fiends and fails to open the plate behind the Phantom. But hopefully he's got... well, they have exit at level 2, so it won't cost him too much time. Just humiliation.
Unless Tristan's going to go for that loot before he heads to Topher.
When you have exit at low level like this, I kind of like waiting to kill Garland until the last minute, and then after you receive the loot, you can cast exit and get right back to the Temple of Fiends. I like that play, but if you're going to do it early, you're going to do it early. It's not a big difference one way or the other. Sforzando's going to bust out a little Peninsula of Power grind, while Brilliant looks like he's going to be the first to broach the horrors of the Marsh Cave and see what we've got down there.
Yeah, but Sho's dealing with 5 Kazukus on this side of the field right now.
Do you like the early grind here from Sforzando? Do you think there's anything worthy of these levels, or do you like Brilliant's play to go straight for the Marsh Cave? Which way do you lean, Titan?
If it was me, I would say go straight to Marsh, see what horrible things are happening before you decide to go POP grinding.
Yeah, I lean that way too. You know, you don't know that you need those levels right now, and maybe you can get them as you go from unrunnables and other stuff like that in the Marsh Cave. But
wow! You
well,
saw what I saw, right?
I saw what you saw. I saw what Brilliant saw, and that's toxic. And it means this is going to be a very gruesome place. They painted the Marsh Cave green for a reason. It's very toxic.
Not with just that, shots have fast.
And shadows have a nasty knack for ambushing. So they're going to cast fast, waste your time, and then they're going to cast toxic and make you reset. And we'll see if anyone can get through this.
And I think Farzaldo did the right decision. He has to grind at this point.
Yeah, it's too bad that there was no early pro rings, because those would help you from your toxic. Despite the name, it appears to be Death Elemental, and that would have cut right through it. But no, it looks like you're going to have to dodge the toxic ghosts. Shadows, pardon me.
Oh man, if that's the Medusa script, I'll be like, we're in trouble for Ordeals, or even the Sea Shrine for that matter.
Yeah. Brilliant gets to the first chest. It's a wooden stick. Probably won't need to go back there if he wipes.
Oh god, guys have Stinger.
And 3k in the top. He's going to exit out for the money. And then on the one step he takes, he gets in a fight and he says, forget it. So he doesn't actually save, I don't think, after getting those 3 top chests, and is going to head straight to the bottom.
And those 3 chests on the bottom, we don't know what they are going to be. And who knows what the wizards are guarding. Wow, spiders are a pain this time around.
Yeah, there's a lot of nuisances so far early on. Sforzando's keeping his grind going. He finds 4 giants. This is some pretty big game he's going after here. Yeah, he says forget that.
Did you see the spell that the spiders cast?
No, you're going to have to enlighten me.
Cure 4!
Yeah. It's kind of handy when Cure 4 lands on something that you're eventually going to one-shot, because then you don't have to worry about it being on anything that's an actual challenge. All right, Brilliant has been dodging the bullets here. He's made it down to the bottom floor of Marsh, and we'll see what he can find. You know, he's looking for that TNT as soon as he can.
So far, just gold. And opal bracelet.
Bracelet, right on. Curiously, even though the rest of the opal gear is all promotion only, all of the classes can wear the opal bracelet.
Is here.
Right beside it. Now he's thinking to himself, yep. He was like, that was easy enough, I'm going to risk going for it. And the first thing he does is run into ambushing scorpions, and he's not going to be too pleased with that. Yeah, 1,000 voices cried out, cast exit, and were silenced. We'll see how many more chests he checks. He's not going to bother with the wizard chest, that's for sure.
What if the wizard chest had the crown?
Well, if it does, he'll come back for it. He's got the TNT. But with no AoE, no lightning attack, of course, as a result. Reasonably decent armor, to be fair, but it would get ugly. So he says, just say no to the wizards.
Yeah, but for Zombo's doing this grind, he has like 3 Zombos and a troll, and he says nope, he's gonna reset. Depending
on the script the wizards got, if they're just attacking, you could probably take him down with a couple casts of Invis too. I don't know if he has enough charges, if he has any charges of it. No, it doesn't look like it. And that's it. Brilliant's gonna be done with that. But he's got the TNT and he got out alive after only getting toxic a couple of times, so I would count that as a win if I were him.
Question 10, when do white mages get 2 hits with the silver hammer? Do you have an answer for that, Nitz?
Whenever it brings their accuracy over 32. And no, I don't have a straight up answer. I'd have to Google that one. Gamer Corner usually is my place to go for watching the stat growth.
Future just answered. He said level 23 or so.
That's pretty far from now, so we don't generally regard white mages as being paragons of offensive might, and I think that's fairly safe to say. And Show's got his TNT.
But he got ambushes by the undead party pack with a crawl.
Curiously, the TNT is in the linked chest, so depending on your preference for checking that first room or checking it in the second room, people will find it in different places.
Wow, crawls are pretty much not even a good script this time around. They were casting slow and cure 1.
That's not too bad. Crawls are sneaky because they always seem to show up in these weird parties with like skeletons and so on, and they get lost in the shuffle, but they can be just awful.
Oh, and Tristan decided to POP grind as well.
Yeah, I wonder if they have a specific spell in mind, like they want some charges of Invis too before they head there. Just in case they need to fight the wizards or something like that, because Invis 2 will really turn the table of that battle if their script is just to attack. Show with a similar approach also avoids the wizard chest. He's got the TNT, so he knows that the likelihood it actually contains something he really needs is pretty low now.
Meanwhile, Brilliant is about to blow up right now.
And boom goes the dynamite. He'll be out of here. With his party as low a level as it is, what do you think's the plan?
I say if I was Brilliant right now, I'll say grind on the P's if they're low enough health for this seed.
You think he's actually capable of defeating Peds with his party the way it is?
Well, let's see if he goes to Melman first to see that level 5 spell.
And shows out with his TNT. He's probably thinking to himself, boy, that was surprisingly easy. I don't think he got any of the toxic shadows. So he should count himself blessed.
But he has avoided guys still. Guys are even worse.
Yeah. With Harm 4 and lots of charges, I think there's an Ordeals play you could talk about here. Still, though, his Brilliance party is so low level. He needs to find some place to grind a few levels before he gets serious here, I think.
Well, he's going to check Melman to see what the magic stuff obtains here.
There's
a fade.
There it is. Now the grind to level 12 looks pretty smart for anyone that did that. Get the charge of fade sooner than anybody else. That's going to unlock a lot of doors as far as where you want to go next. Because if you have a few charges of fade, you can be a little more fast and loose with your dungeon crawling.
Yeah, but don't forget, like, we don't know what the move's going to be. Is it going to be Ordeals? It could be the Ice Cave if someone's gambling enough. Or they could risk the Volcano.
Yeah, with affordable housing, I love going to the Volcano and just fade things away and then exit out, pop a house, and repeat until you can get deeper into it. It's a pretty easy strategy in that it's not too risky and there's tons of treasure chests at the beginning of the Volcano. But I also like going to Ordeals when you've got all those charges of Harm 4 too. But it's not incentivized, so it could be a huge bust. That's just my riskier play. So Brilliant's ship makes berth near Crescent Lake. He's going to go pick up his canoe, and we'll see how and what he chooses to grind here.
Oh, but the trolls are hitting paper thin this time around.
Show runs into an ass, but I'm not sure if he realizes, yeah, he decided to run away the second time. I think he remembers now. We now have our other two higher level parties in Marsh Cave. We'll see if they get through it without as many wipes as the lower level ones did. Those extra levels aren't going to probably save you too much from Toxic. I think it's still going to get you most of the time, but everything else should be just fine.
Now the question is, Brilliant might go to level 5 and 6 if he grinds on the trolls, according to Fuchsia, because then it makes Ordeals look like a more favorable play at this rate.
Yeah, it's hard to say no to the level 5 fade. To like sail away to your next destination without any charges of it, I think would be a missed opportunity. But he's got quite a bit of grinding to go if he does want charges of it too. I'm not sure which way he's going to lean, but you need to get those levels eventually. So now that the opportunity has presented itself, I think you should consider it.
Horizontal's about to is going wizard hunting mode.
And that's what the levels will get you, right? Is he going to bust out some invis too? Yeah, exactly. He gets those off, he's going to be safe, and this shouldn't be too bad. Ooh, they got at least 90 health. But his party is definitely strong enough to handle these little wizards now.
And they seem they're just using the attack script only, no spells from them yet.
Yeah, that was always the risk here, that they would have something just nasty. But it turns out they're about around 100 health by the look of it, and with all that invis too, in evade now, he should be just fine. So a bold choice, and the A-rub to prevent against something like Toxic.
Well, Brilliant just found that the P's are no-go because they're super tanky this time around.
Yeah, super tanky's not going to fly with this party. You have no offensive magic to speak of, not from items, not from magic. You only have one reasonable damage dealer. If you got an enemy with high absorb or high evade, or just plain old high health. That is not what you want.
Level 6 Waldo.
Show pops in, picks up his loot. And we got the Were Sword, so not what you would call a success. The Silver Sword he's got, or the Flame Sword, pardon me, that you picked up in the Dwarf Cave is already better than that, so just a bit of a waste of time with those wizards.
Oh, and Zangriff with the puns. Oh boy, here comes the puns for Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it may well be +3 versus lycanthropes, but I don't think there are any lycanthropes. I guess we got were-tigers, don't we?
Well, don't forget, we got the werewolves as well.
Well, of course, the werewolves, but they're the most pathetic. They're not even, like, anthropomorphic. They're just wolves, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, chat's giving me a hard time for the werewolves. Sure, but, like, they're the most pathetic werewolves of any werewolves I've ever seen. Like, you can call them werewolves. I think it was just some adventurer who was like, no, those were definitely werewolves. And everyone was like, yeah, okay, Bill.
I wonder where Brilliant's gonna head to. I'm guessing he might head to... Not Ice Cave. I don't think he's gonna head to Ice.
Now, Ice is a bit of a trip right now, and it's a deadly, deadly place with tons of unrunnable wizards and stuff like that, which would just be a nightmare.
And I believe Shill is about to head to,
Hey, Platypus.
Melon.
Yeah, he's gonna find his fade. I'll give him some pause. He does not have the $6,600 he needs for it, though.
Well, there's a TNT for Crystal.
And the Opal Bracelet. It's a lovely find. Everybody so far has given the Opal Bracelet to their fighter, which is a handy choice. It's just as good as all but the very best armors. So it might stay on there for a long time.
But top right chest was garbage for Marsh.
It has 34 absorb, which I think ties it with the ice and fire armor, meaning the only things superior to it are the opal and dragon armor in terms of pure absorb.
I wonder if Brilliant's grinding on trolls though.
Yeah, they look kind of soft, not in terms of low HP, but they have weak attack. And I think he's taking advantage of that. Here's where that Peninsula Power Grind's starting to look pretty good, right? Like, the levels that Sforzando and Tristal picked up way back when are going a lot faster, I think, than what Brilliant's getting here.
I believe we might have an Ordeals play coming in from Brilliant.
I think the magic leans you that way. Ordeals is one of the places where Harm 4 is the most useful it's going to be. So since it's low level and you can take advantage of that now, do it up.
And Forzano turning into TNT, of course, along with Tristal, because you're going to high-five each other soon.
Yeah, Show and Brilliant were just high-fiving each other on the way in and out of Crescent Lake, too. So we've had a lot of runner overlap with the last little bit, and still things are very close so far, especially when you factor in levels and progression through the game. I would say it's still a pretty tight race. Tristal and Sforzando with an edge in levels, and Show just behind Brilliant in terms of completion of the game so far.
And Tristal just found the ass past Blizzard.
Tristal getting really unlucky right now with his overworld encounters, just one after another.
And Trizzle does have the loot because I saw his inventory earlier, so she did talk to the princess.
And Brilliant does pop by Elfland to take care of some business.
Platypus? I know that reference, man. Don't even get me started there.
Man, we've been doing the loot the warrant jokes for all of stage 6 now. That's really taken off. Yes, where in the world is Garland San Diego? Yeah.
Do you mean Chaos San Diego?
Well, Garland rhymes with Carmen, kinda. In my world, it does anyway. Alright, that's enough. That's enough. Back to the action. Brilliant makes berth, docks at the river, sails up. And he's gonna head into Ordeals. It's not incentivized in this stage, so there's no guarantees there's going to be anything here of worth whatsoever. No fiend, possibly no treasure at all. But there is a fair amount of undead, and hopefully he can avail himself of his Harm 4 and get something out of this.
Wow, the Medusas didn't even land a hit.
This bodes well so far.
Oh, there's no way you can say no to the Wiz Mummy and Mummy grind right now.
No, that's what I'm talking about, right? This is exactly the encounter he wanted to see. He might have even preferred a few more Wiz Mummies, but at least erring on the side of being able to easily win and pick up experience is perfect for him right now. Wiz Mummies are a bit tanky. Took more than 200 out of that first fade and made him have to waste it. Pardon me. Harm 4 and made him had to spend a second charge, but not too bad.
And for Zondo's learning that peas are not worth the grind. Nitz, you got a question, my friend. Could the death move that guy when early crown is not selected?
Do we talk about the wizard at the entrance to Ordeals? Yeah, he's part of the vanilla game, and he won't let you pass if you don't have the crown. Now, it's impossible to get there without the crown in the vanilla game, so that never really came into play.
Man, this Ordeals pillar shove was redonkulous.
Yeah, there is an early Ordeals flag. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about. And what that does is make the initial teleport work so that you can proceed through Ordeals even if you're not holding the crown. And I suppose there's no reason why you couldn't just remove the guy so you don't have to walk around him. But he doesn't seem to be that much of a troll. He doesn't walk around aimlessly. That's when it really starts to get annoying. Just deking out the guy is not a big deal.
I think Brilliant might have to reset. Yeah, he had to.
Did he reset or did he exit out?
He exited out.
Oh, just too many warps? He was worried about...
Yeah, the initial soft lock incoming.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Cho has 4 Zombols on this field, which is surprisingly less than 150 HP.
And with his extra knowledge now, he is able to squeeze through Ordeals pretty quick. I don't think he made a misstep and gets to the top. Tristle's got his canoe. He's going to get right out of there and back in the front door, hit the inn. And we got some gargoyles. Let's see what's going on here. They don't look like... Yeah.
They're just paper strength.
Yeah, nothing to fear there. These Medusas are pretty soft too, so... Whether or not he
they're not
poison touch. Yeah. Had to be something. It couldn't be a total gimme Ordeals, but I mean, looking at it, I would say that it was about as easy as you could have hoped for.
Well, there's 5 chests left anyway. Cloth Worthless, Heal Home, Power Stick.
We got one more chest, and that is the wrong power thing, indeed. Sforzando's here too. I know he loves Ordeals. He's going to be just as disappointed as Brilliant. And Crystal, like one step behind him. Everyone's coming to Ordeals tonight.
Oh, what? 69 gold. Oh, 63 gold. Thanks to Zangrir's correction on me.
It turns out that there was the power stick and the cloth rags pretty much right beside it, conjuring up the images of washing myself with a rag on a stick. Clap, 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 clap.
Okay, now the question now you have to ask yourself. Volcano or ice?
Still no offensive area of effect magic. I do not like ice. Well, you got a few charges of fade maybe, but I don't like ice.
Chat. Volcano or ice? What would be your next move, chat?
You're not getting a lot of takers on on ice. I think we've all died in there too many times to recommend it to anybody. Yeah, I think Volcano sweeps it.
Actually,
go ahead.
Brilliant is doing the zombie D grind. I don't blame him.
Yeah, he's got until he runs out of charges of harm 4, which he is just about done.
Wow, one of the chat says go to Earth. I wouldn't go to Earth because so many asps are in there.
yeah, the snakes are gonna get you if you go to Earth. They're nasty. And of course, there's the time spent double dipping, which is likely because there's so many places the rod can be outside of Earth that would save you the double dip. Hard to recommend that play at this stage. Brilliant gets enough levels and he's out of here. And we'll see if he sets sail for presumably Volcano via Crescent Lake. Oh no, he's going right back in. Gets some more levels. I think he knows the encounter table and which portals it warps, so maybe he can get back to the grind really quickly.
Yep, everyone's on grind mode city at this point on the either zombie dragons or the zombos, but shows just doing POP grinding.
And Brilliant scoots all the way up to the top of Ordeals. This is something I don't know if I've seen before, and I think I like it. Like Ordeals, if you already know which portals to step on, you can scoot through really quickly. Combine that with some nice soft zombie Ds at the end, and this was a pretty promising and easy, safe grind to do.
Yeah, I would be surprised if they stopped at maybe level 15 before they head to Volcano.
Yeah, there's almost nothing in here that has demonstrated being able to do more than 1 damage. So, why not just run right back to the top? You're not going to lose much time.
Well, I can answer your question right now. Mad Cats have slow, so basically this whoever has the other slow is the script for the Medusas.
Well, I said, what could possibly waste your time? And it's a pile of man cats that slowed and then put your entire party to sleep. That's what can waste your time. Oh, and then cremate you. There had to be something in here. The old announcer's curse. What could possibly go wrong?
And Mancats are just like putting everyone to sleep. And they have stop.
They've got the whole shebang. If they had a way of poisoning you and turning you to stone, it'd be everything. I like that you can.
I feel sorry for Brilliant. And they have Expert.
He resets out. That is so painful.
So, we're looking forward to that in the Tiamat's castle.
I'm gonna have to personally apologize to Brilliant for perhaps the worst announcer's curse I've ever done. Nothing in here can even waste your time. Time immediately wasted. Run ruined. Well, sorry about that.
I told you my monsters will have the last laugh.
But he's undaunted and he's trying again. And he knows if he runs into Mancats that he's got to get the heck off of them.
And Sho's gonna get 3 fades right now.
$6,600, sign me up.
The only thing that sucks though that Heal 3's gonna fight for it too.
Alright, so we've got, most of our party's got some levels now, and it looks like it's Volcano time. I think that's where Show appears to be setting sail for.
Meanwhile, Tristan's suffering the same fate as Brilliant from earlier.
He manages to get through it, though. What he doesn't know is how soft everything else is, and how tempting this zombie dragon grind is going to be at the end. And Tristle picks up the rag on a stick, too.
Incoming bad news for Tristle once he gets the incentive chest.
So far, just the slows. Can he escape before things get ugly?
Mancats have stun touch.
Why not? Just to add to the collection. He says to himself, we don't need no stinking zombie D-grind. He doesn't fight a single one and exits out of there. That seems like a pretty conservative move to me. Like he's trying to... Conservative in the aggressive sense. Excuse me. He's just going to deke right out of that and continue on without any grinding whatsoever.
I'm just wondering where he's gonna grind on. Meanwhile, Sho's gonna head to the volcano and let's see what's gonna be in there this time around, especially that big treasure trove we know.
He could think he has enough levels for now and just wants to get on with it, you know? Do some progression. Pretty slim pickings at the first little bit here. $30 in this chest.
Sho's going the longer route than the usual, just go for the big treasure trove first.
Yeah, you can grab these first 4 and then just exit out, I guess. We'll see if he does that instead of legging it all the way back around. Ooh, do sharks have stone touch?
I didn't notice.
Something happened to Tristle's fighter that caused him to reset out. And Brilliant continuing this zombie D grind. He's spent all this time to get here. He's gonna milk it as much as he can, I guess.
Let's see what these fires are made of.
I believe the fires are made out of fire, Chitin. They're like the only enemy in the game that is made out of one thing. It's the elemental enemies.
You just had to say that, didn't you?
Technically correct is the best kind of correct.
Did Show's stream froze?
Either that or he's pausing for a moment of reflection, wondering what it's all really for. Light warriors put down their weapons and walk away, never to be seen or heard from again. And he's back.
It seems the fires have high absorb this time around.
Yeah, this fight isn't ideal. I don't think he's going to take very many firefights after this. I'll say that with certainty.
I'm guessing he might rely on the Agama grind.
Yeah, that's what you're going to check next. Oh boy, this fire is pretty tough, actually.
Well, Tristel and Forzando just joined the show, and we get to see the big treasure trove.
It's angry for Tracker tonight calling that behind this fire is going to be like $50 in the treasure chest, and that's kind of been the way it's going. But no, I'm calling something good here. A piece of gear that one of his party members can equip right now. I'm calling it. And I'm way off. It was a soft.
Prorating at the treasure trove.
All right, finally. Some relief from the instant death. And we got some ice armor too, so he can hand me down the opal to somebody else.
Well, at least the treasure trove was not too bad, though.
We have 3 on-screen runners that are in the same room. It's a pretty tight race through the Volcano stage so far. But it should be pointed out, this is one heck of a big room. I believe it is the biggest individual room in the game.
What, the second floor of a Volk?
Yeah, it's one gigantic room, pretty much.
I thought
think it's the
Skycastle
big-
was bigger. I thought Skycastle was a little bit bigger than that.
I'm not talking about the layout of the map. I just mean literally the inside the door. Like, you know how the palette changes when you walk through a doorway? Like this whole section of this floor. I think it's the biggest one in the game.
Grey rooms have rub. If I was everyone right now, avoid the grey rooms at all costs because they have a chance of casting rub.
So it looks like the ice armor and the pro ring are the real treasures of the armory. And that does enable everyone to hand me down the opal to one of the white mages and get everybody nicely equipped. No one's even going to bother equipping the cap. That's just clogging up the inventory space. For show, it's worthy of an exit in the house and back into the volcano.
And knowing Show, he's going to dive to the other treasure chest right now.
And Brilliant has temporarily had enough. He retreated to Crescent Lake and now he's coming back. Looks like he wanted to stock up. Unfortunately, I don't think Crescent Lake had houses for sale, because it doesn't look like he picked up any, and he almost certainly would have if he could have.
And Show chucking the potions, of course.
Crystal runs into the fires. He's not going to mess around. Fires 3 barrels of fades at them. Gonna try to get out of here with only having to spend 2 charges. And the fires have Stinger to add to how much of a nuisance they are. But it looks like he's going to take at least all 3 casts of Fade.
Well, there goes shows one of his white mages just took a rub to the face.
Had his face erased. But he's probably got several charges of life in Cure 4 now, so... This is this party proving to be pretty durable. That may indeed be the white mage he's leading down, unless I'm mixing up my screens here. There's $30 and $1,000. Slim pickings.
And regular both have Paratouch as well.
Yes, Sho says no thank you. He's out of there. Runs into some Wiz Ogres. This fight can be ugly sometimes, but it looks like nothing too bad here. When the enemy scripts are shuffled, it's really a mixed bag. Like, things that can be deadly end up being not so bad, and then whoever gets the Medusa script, depends what's on it. All bets are off until you find out.
And Joel about to see the Agama grind.
Yeah, it's time to find out what we got here. Ooh, pretty high attack power on them.
I say nope, don't grind. Oh, baby, we got Blaze.
And he's not out of the woods yet. And heat. No, and he gets away. And again, the charges of life and Cure 4 all around mean that this is not that bad for him. He's going to opt to use a bunch of heals, though, and save the charges. Sforzando finds the Flame Shield. I didn't even recognize that. Between the Ice Armor and the Flame Shield, it's a perfect balance of resistances, so his fighters can be quite well protected now. Question from chat. In this case, our tracker Zangrief. Is he going to check the carry floor chest? You got to check the carry floor chest. It's not that hard. You can run away from the Agama. Maybe the Red Dragon will be a good grind too, so I think he'll do it. Looks like where he's headed anyway.
But again, could he grind on the Red Dragon though?
Yeah, that's the question he's going to ask himself right after he gets away from this Agama. And he gets ambushed, which is not a great start, but the dragon missed, which on any other day would be good news. It missed him again. This dragon looks really weak. I would be really tempted to check again, but he isn't. And looks like he's heading to carry, otherwise he probably would have just cast exit. Oh boy, that blaze is nasty. But no trouble when you have this much life.
Man, Volcano was a bust.
A little bit of gear, but yeah. We're either ice or earthbound now. Earthbound.
You have to go to ice. You have to go to ice. There's
no
way.
Yeah.
You can't risk Earth.
No, I'm not saying risk it. I just mean if ice is a bust, then it's got to be in Earth. And it looks like we're going to fade carry away into oblivion. 6 casts should do it, even if the fighter can't help out much.
Oh, Carrie has ice too.
Yeah, the flame shield picked up by the fighters will resist it, but the white mages are all pretty much on their own. Oh boy. Well, that was a well-timed Cure 4. In perfect response to Carrie's attack. Restoring Sho to full health.
Carrie's being a little bit beefier than usual.
Yeah. carry is proving to be a bit of a pest. Sforzando and Shoei now virtual dead heat here, though. Hopefully they can both pull this out and stay competitive.
Oh wow, I just saw Carrie have slow.
Well, on Show's doesn't have to worry about that because his carry is defeated, and Show lights the fire orb. First one of our on-stream runners to do so.
Now the question is, will he choose the ice or will he choose the earth?
Looks like Sforzando still got some more charges of fate up his sleeve. And that'll do it. Another 350 from those two fades combined takes down his carry, and he is right behind Show.
By the way, I like Crystal's name for the party, Deep Fade to Win.
Well, he's got it. So he should be able to win, if I understand correctly. Alright, so it looks like we're going to have a bunch of people head into the ice cave. Based on what you've seen so far in this seed, what are you going to look out for in there?
Definitely those wizards, for sure.
You going to try any manipulation? Do you just fade him away if you see him? Or do you try and set it up so you can reset out? Anything in particular, like any tactic you would employ to try to save yourself time there?
If I was me, I'd say pick up the experience while you still can.
So just bust out fades and then blast through them?
Exactly. If you're hitting on runables, just blast. Otherwise, just run your butts behind it outside.
And then the next question is, see what we've got in terms of an eye grind to do, because the eye at the end of the ice cave is notoriously weak. Sometimes he has, deadly skills and spells and is a real pest, but other times he can be total paper, so you gotta check that out.
Question in chat, have you missed an hour of this? It's been rough.
The question is, when did you arrive? Because you might have missed up to an hour and 2 minutes. We got off to a sprightly start, but we had some troublesome overworld encounters that were slowing people down. We haven't had any offensive magic or magic casting items until we got Fade and Melman, so the beginning was tough sledding, but things are really starting to, the tide is turning in the speedrunners' favors now. They've got more charges of Fade, lots of life and Cure 4, Invis 2, and it's been smooth since the last 15 minutes. None of them have had too much trouble in Volcano, for example.
Actually, the show is heading to Ordeals.
He is indeed. Sforzando making the more straightforward play of going to ice. We'll see what... Did Show never get around to doing this? Because perhaps he still doesn't know that there's nothing at all here.
Yeah, Show has not showed up at Ordeals, so he's gonna pretty much get the wop wop wah.
Yeah, on the flip side, the grind at the end is pretty good experience, so we'll see if he spends any time doing that or if the whole thing winds up being a waste for him. Sforzando's headed into ice, and that's where we gotta turn our attention now. This first floor has all kinds of ugly encounters, wizards, there they are, and so on, yeah. The quick reset is nice. On the first floor, it's an easy tactic, you can get pretty far.
Well, cockatrices are not that much of a threat this time around.
Sforzando not going to mess around with these wizards and go straight for the fade. And he gets the hero cast that has double effectiveness on all of them, finishing the battle in one charge. Just what he was looking for. And after I say that, he resets out. It's just wizards all the way down for Sforzando. And they do have sleep touch, which a bit nauseating as well.
Well, Tristan has to deal with a lot of stuff right now.
Show should have easier sledding in Ordeals. As we know, there is nothing in here that can even slow you down, let alone actually endanger you. Nothing at all to worry about. And if you missed it, the reason I'm being so coy is because the man cats have just a tool belt full of delay tactics. Slow and sleep and stun. It's just awful.
Oh, we got Inspector. We got the Undead Party Pack at the Forzando side.
Poison touch is annoying, but it's probably the least annoying thing. Being put to sleep and being paralyzed is much worse. Poison or not poison, you can still get off these hero casts of Harm 4 and escape these battles without too much damage done. You just gotta waste time carrying the poison after, but at least it doesn't slow you down in the moment.
I hope he's stocked with the pure potions.
At $5, he'd better be. But he actually only has 12 more of them, which is the kind of thing where you're like, how much did you have to cheap out and only buy 20 pures when you could have bought 50 of them and then just really never had to worry about it? But this is what happens when you're trying to rush.
Well, if it was me, I'll just buy 30 and say be safe.
Yeah, at $5, you can load up, but maybe he just didn't have the $5. You never know. And the first treasure yielded from the ice cave is a soft, and then the Bane Sword. That's exciting.
Do I sense some
More on-
Bane strats coming into play for this seed?
You may, but probably not against these undead.
But with this Undead Party Pack, I would say I would just blast it with Harm 4 and get it over with.
Yeah, that looks like the play. Now I'm going to check the Ice Dragon room. Ah, that's a teaser. Adamant's a nice find, but really hinges on whether or not we find the tail, of course. Or the Mass Moon. And now Show, having whipped through the Ordeals like a whirlwind, is on his way as well to ice. So we should, for a period, after he and Blizzard arrive, again have all 4 of our runners in the same venue. Still a very close race at this stage.
Well, for someone I actually found a Thor's hammer.
Finally, an offensive magic item. We still have very little of the progression items. No one has found anything by way of a ruby or the floater. Oh, there's the crown.
We got a crown chest. So
I'm all over it tonight, aren't I? Just say it, and there it is.
Question is, are you willing to take the chain over the Earth Cave?
Well, I think you got to, because when you find a crown like that, it literally opens doors for you. And the way the randomizer sanity is going to check, it's going to say, is there a way to beat this game? Then the seed is good. And if you find the crown in a place like ice, after you've explored so many previous chests already, there's a pretty good chance you're going to need those crown chests soon.
But this encounter table is not very friendly, isn't it?
And we'll all take a minute there for Trystal's Adamant. Show again seems to have paused for a moment of reflection.
Question is, will you turn in that adamant for Excalibur?
Not until I get the tail, and not a minute sooner.
4 more chests to go.
On the other hand, since you're going to go to Dwarves with the Crown Quest, if you do it now, you never have to come back, which it's not going to be that far out of your way. So, I take back everything I said. I would do it when I went to Dwarves.
Red bones have poison touch, actually.
And the last few chests here for Sforzando, and then we'll check and see the difficulty of the eye grind, which is what I'm really most curious about. The eye is an EXP beast, and if he's something that you can kill in a single turn with your fighter, or a combination of harm and Thor hammer, or who knows what, anyhow you can bring him down. I think it's worth gaining a few levels here.
We'll see how bad the eye is.
Start with Fade until you know. Okay, he's less than 166. This could be good news.
Nothing but gold guarded by the by the eye.
Sforzando's seen enough. He's out of there like lickety split. Ah, man, that eye was such paper. We'll see if anyone else considers it.
If I was gonna do the eye grind, I'll say I'll do it before Topher.
There was a lot of things to risk, like who knows if that eye's got damage poison or something and just lays waste to your party, right? So I understand the restraint, but you have exit. You've got lots of charges of Fade even before you have to worry about killing them some other way. Too tempting to me.
I am calling Floater Marsh locked.
You monster. Trystal one-shots him with a Fade too. We'll see what he does. Uh-huh. He's going to take him on again.
I'll throw the question to chat. What do you think the floater's gonna be, everyone?
Oh, that eye's got like 130 health, if that. Going for the Bane strats and the Thor hammer. This is what I'm talking about.
Incoming King Astos.
Astos? I thought it was the kindly king in the Northwest Castle. Well, guess he had to die. Trystal's still carving up eyes. He needs some Eye of Newt for his experience potion. So with Fade at level 5, Trystal approaching level 20 here. He's got a few charges of it. There's probably not much more white magic you're too worried about. You got your Invis 2, you've got at least Life, Cure 4. How many more levels do you realistically need to beat this game?
I wouldn't be surprised if he grinds to 32, to be honest. Especially if you have a Thor's hammer already in your arsenal and a heal helm. If you have
32 is that's a long grind. I was gonna guess something in low 20s, like 22, 23 for now, but we'll see.
Oh, this is evil from the chat. They want to see a ruby to get the floater.
Right, so in the very bottom of Marsh, crown locked, is the ruby. And then in the... oh dear. And then the floater can be rod locked. Or you could have a vanilla ruby, which would even be more spectacular after doing all of the crown quest.
Well, we'll see in Elfland soon, because here comes the king of Elfland. Needs to get reawakened.
Come to think of it, I think you could have a crown-locked rod, and then have the ruby in one of the last chests before Lich, and then have the floater on the other side of the Titan. That could be about as trolly as it could be, I think. And Sforzando begins the plundering. He's got an ice sword, which is a hair better than his flame sword, so he'll trade up. And he got a pearl cape, which is a nice shield for one of his white mages. He's also sitting on a cloth armor there. I'm going to see if he's going to pop maybe a gold bracelet on one of those white mages. Admittedly, it's his Dan of a white mage. He doesn't really care too much about, but no, he's just going to leave the cloth on so that he dies.
I don't blame him for a 3-party man grind, to be honest. And he's on his way to everyone's favorite castle, the Northwest Castle.
Yep, just a handful of steps behind Tristal, who was coming here for the first time to take down Astos and get the crystal. And Sho has come to help out Tristal. He's going to take on Astos with him. And brilliant, fighting Astos at exactly the same time as Sho. They both completed all of the same dungeons up to this point, and they're very close in level 2. Just fantastically close race here. Sforzando with a tiny lead in progression, because he's now checking key chests, but I think he might actually have one of the lower level parties of the 4 we're watching. And there's a katana and some more cash. He just resets right back out, doesn't need any of that garbage.
And I believe he's heading to Corneria, if I'm not mistaken, if I was for Zondo right now.
At the last race of his I was covering, he forgot the Corneria key chests, and it didn't cost him, because it wasn't anything there he needed, but you better not make that mistake again.
Yeah, because I remember we both called it in this time around. He did not forget it, thank goodness.
Well, let's see if that pays off, or if this is also a waste of time. Oh,
there's your floater!
He's gonna be glad that he didn't forget it this time.
At this rate, you gotta go to Cardia.
Oh yeah, you clean some places up now.
Oh
he's
no,
gonna check.
He's gonna
Temple
check
of Fiends chest. I don't like it. Just go get the airship and then fly there. Why are you walking around like a peasant now that you could be soaring among the heavens?
Wait, I remember something. He actually saved at Corneria, so he could just reset it out.
If it's bunk, yeah? Okay. Question from chat. Hello, I'm late. What did I miss? You missed a very slow, grindy beginning. The overworld was a bit unfriendly at the start. There was no caster items to speak of. It took time and levels to get past first the pirates, then a traditional dive into Marsh. And then, because of the presence of relatively low-level Harm 4 and level 5 Fade, we saw people go to Ordeals. Then everyone sort of converged in Volcano, nothing there. Then everybody has cleaned out the Ice Cave, and all of our runners on stream have basically had similar routes. And finally, we found the Crown in Ice, and now we've got a bunch of completing of the Crown quest, whereupon Sforzando has the slim lead and has found the floater in Corneria. And now you're all caught up.
Oh, he's gonna take on Garland. He didn't get the loot.
Could have done this later.
Oh, Garland Relentless
Oh!
glare! Oh my goodness!
Oh, that pesky Garland.
At least my knight has one last laugh. And for those who are coming in late, I actually created this day, so I'm sorry for everyone suffering.
It hasn't been a super hard one. Like, we haven't seen a lot of wipes or a lot of awful monsters. Don't get me wrong, they've been there, but not the worst. But it has been really grueling in how much routing people have had to do. It has led you to all the wrong places. But hopefully that all changes with this floater. Sforzando seems like he's taken the long way to the desert. Wouldn't you just sail over to the east and then cross the plains of sadness?
Will you risk getting blizzard? Buddy asks.
I guess. That's a fair point. But I mean, with a little tenting, a little encounter manipulation, you don't have to fight anything. This seems just a little bit more cumbersome than that. And we are now moments away from the airship rising from the desert.
Did we see anything? Did you see where Bottle's located?
No, I haven't seen anything for sale out of the ordinary, so maybe it's in Gaia. Those lazy Gaians.
Well, we got an early rod pickup.
Right on. And now let's check out the Titan's Tunnel. So many runners in a near dead heat at various points in this race. This has been crazy. I hope this continues all the way to the end with just about on this.
Tigers have glance and squint.
Nobody ever expects the Tigers.
Well, what kind of seed I ran to generate up today?
And a total bust in the Titan's Tunnel. Probably Cardia next.
You have to go. No, dwarves.
Cash in that adamant now that you're here. Yeah.
And might as well see that locked treasure trove.
What are the dwarves sitting on? They got a pro ring.
A bunch of cash.
Yeah. Typical dwarves, just a pile of cash. One piece of jewelry. And brilliant, right behind our leader pack, picks up the floater himself.
So far, just a single gold bracelet that he doesn't need.
We've got almost synchronized chest checking on stream here. Not much doing in Cardia so far. Ooh,
Aegis seal.
That's right on, but again, it's just a tease if that tail never turns up.
You need to find that tail because he has the dragon armor.
Yeah, and next time, instead of telling you, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen the bottle anywhere, I'll check and see if our tracker has already indicated that one of our runners has it, because as Angry points out, Show bought it in Elfland for $7,000.
That was in Provoca for 7K.
Provoca, Iceland, Dwarf Cave. You got it somewhere. It's all the same bottle.
By the way, Manticores have poison touch as usual.
And Crystal just wrapping up. Cardia throws away some garbage to make room for the Aegis Shield.
Well, Cardia was a bust.
Aegis Shield's all right if we find that if we find the tail, but otherwise, yeah, total bust. So we're really running out of places to go now. We got the Waterfall, and
Well,
then
remember, Sho does have the access to Sea Shrine if he turns that ball in right now.
Yep, that's like the last remaining play after. So, and in this case, it's going to be the last remaining play before, because it looks like everyone's going to pick up their bottles now and clear the Sea Shrine. Friends don't let friends dive Earth, and that's exactly what everybody here is demonstrating tonight.
Life 2 at level 7.
I'd put it down as a nice to have, but all it does is save you a charge at Care 4. You can't use it in battle, so it's not that much more special than Life 1. And then, don't get me wrong, that's awesome, super handy, but if you don't have the charges, it's not going to be the end of the world.
Now the $1,000,000 question is, would you go to Mermaid side first?
Going to Mermaid side first is something you do if you can answer this one question.
And that is?
What's the likelihood that clearing out mermaids first makes it easier for me to beat Kraken?
I can answer that easily.
It's not easy to answer, but if you say go Kraken side, and on your way down to Kraken find the key items you're looking for. Right now we're looking for the slab to go get the chime. Then you don't have to go to the other side at all. And you're going to save yourself a little bit of time.
But I can counter that argument. Can he ignore a free encounter treasure trove?
It's hard to say no to the free encounter treasure trove, don't get me wrong. But if you're trying to make up time, it's not a necessary treasure trove if the slab is on the Kraken side.
Oh, rare gas D on Crystal side.
Don't worry, he'll catch and release it back into its native habitat. Crystal and Sforzando still neck and neck. Show running Zamarins has him slightly.
But can you ignore the Wiz Mummy pack?
No.
Nah, this
Wisdom
rate,
is
not-
no. You can't say no. They've got an undeniably high EXP yield for not being generally that tough, especially in Rando when it's entirely possible they won't have any of their usual tricks.
And I believe we're about to see a Q pickup by Crystal. Musical dork, that's kind of evil. Why would they slap at Marsh?
I mean, you're the one who generated the seed. You know it's what everybody wants. But no, we get a twofer here in the Waterfall with the cube and the slab. I've been playing so much of the beta of the NPC shuffle lately that I often forget the guaranteed cube and the Waterfall and the normal version of this randomizer.
And don't forget, we still have that surprise hidden mode we're testing as well, and it's...
Yeah, a lot of changes hopefully coming to the Master Branch soon, and thus being released as part of the standard Final Fantasy randomizer. It's a pretty exciting time to be in the FFR community. This is a good time to mention the upcoming spring tournament. It will be starting in May after being finalized shortly. The final format should be announced on April 20th, which is roughly when signups will begin for the tournament starting in May, our spring tournament. And it is not yet decided what version of the randomizer will be run, but it's entirely possible that it will have all of the latest features, which should make for a bit of a departure from this league and some new excitement and some new challenges coming in the next version. So that's something to look forward to. And if you enjoy Final Fantasy Randomizer, playing it, watching it, this is an open entry tournament that's available to everyone, regardless of skill level or prior experience. So do consider it. We'll get a link to that and everything else posted in the Twitch with links to our Discord and the website to actually get the Final Fantasy Randomizer if you're interested in giving it a shot.
While we are somewhat in Sea Shrine, the Kraken side, please follow our runners on stream and follow the commentators as well, and follow our tracker for tonight, Zangrief, along with our restreamer, JK Allen.
And finally, shout out to Randomania, who saw fit to put us on Randomania proper this evening, which is a bit exciting. And if you're a regular Randomania fan and this is your first Final Fantasy Randomizer experience, thank you for joining us as well. We're happy to have you.
And the Ruby is in the Kraken side.
Wah, wah. Looks like we didn't need that for anything. If you're sick and tired of seeing rubies that don't do anything, you should be excited about the upcoming NPC shuffle. One of the flags it adds is the ability to tweak the Titan's tunnel map so that the Titan blocks the treasure trove, and you need the ruby to get past him to get it. And we got an out-of-bounds mat in the Waterfall. That's fun. Haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, and I didn't realize Verzanda went to Mermaid side first.
Question from chat: is randomizing the unrunnables going to be a thing at some point? Well, musical dork, in the upcoming NPC shuffle that's not added yet, but there is, beyond the beta, there is a closed alpha going on for some stuff even further out than that, and unrunnable shuffle is a feature. I work on it myself, so I can give you the specifics. The unrunnability is a trait of enemy formations as opposed to specific enemies, so it actually shuffles which formations are unrunnable as opposed to specific enemies. And it comes along with the side convenience of changing the run command to the word wait when your fight is unrunnable, so that you at least know. And that enables you to make smarter decisions about whether or not you can actually run away from the encounter.
Question in chat, so anything insane this run? Well, since I generated it, I can tell you this much. The beginning was painful, if you want to know how bad it was.
Everything was out of its place. You had to circumnavigate the globe to find the most basic things, with the crown being deeply seated in ice. It was the last place that almost everybody went because of the availability of early harm 4 dragged them to Ordeals, then the natural choice to go to Volcano. So it's been a slow starter. And Fate at level 5 required a lot of extra levels before these parties could get offensively powerful, and so at the 1 hour 35 minute mark, we're just clearing out Kraken here.
And I believe Forzando was trying to look for maybe triple ribbons. And it looks like the mermaid side was not the case. Okay, that was kind of odd. Kraken with Fire 2 on his arsenal.
Yeah, a little out of character there, isn't it? You gotta be careful with that fire, Kraken.
Oh, Zangrave's calling for the Lock Sea Shrine chest. And you know that history of that chest, right, Nitz?
The sea chest and the sea shrine, it has a rich and storied heritage. But I don't know all of the stories.
Well, I can tell you this much from our community's past. That chest is notorious for one race that could had the key item you could possibly need to finish the sea. But for this sea, it's not necessary because you got almost everything. But I believe Forzano wants maybe a ribbon or a masa instead of the adamant.
Ribbon would be really nice. We haven't seen a single one yet. Masamoon would always be nice. The tail would be nice to equip some of the awesome gear we've already seen. So there are still things to look out for sure. We by no means are fully geared up here. And the TFC contains what? A wooden stick.
That is sad. Another pro ring's not that bad though.
Yeah, that's the last chest pro ring, I think.
Oh no, I think Tristan's going to check the mermaid side. Have you seen Powerbonk yet?
I don't believe so. And we've got Shows actually routed his way over to the Earth Cave just for a change of pace. With Exit, at least the double dip isn't going to take too long. I don't think... Or does he have the rod? And I missed it. Where did the rod come from?
Rod was in the usual place, man.
Oh, of course. Of course. Forgive me. I have been playing too much NPC Shuffle Kite, and I need to screw my head back on straight.
No worries, man, because, you know, we have that secret mode we've been testing in the alpha stages. Should we reveal that mode where we're testing in the alpha, or not yet?
For anybody interested in future upcoming versions, I'm confusing myself with NPC Shuffle. It's in beta right now, and anyone can play it at beta.finalfantasyrandomizer.com. One of the things it does is change what the NPCs that give you items do. Right now, Sarda always gives you the rod, which I obviously haven't played this recently enough to even remember. But in the NPC Shuffle, Sarda could theoretically give you anything. And various toggles can be, controlled which NPC is incentivized. Some of them can just give you garbage items or gold or equipment. So there's a lot of new possibilities in terms of routing, and it dynamically changes one run to the next in a way that I really enjoy. And with good flag set choosing can make for a pretty enjoyable FFR game.
Oh, and by the way, Show is about to hit his last few chests before he hits the lich. Ooh, white shirt at Forzondo's side for Kraken's side, so that's not terrible.
It's hard to make use of it. It can save you charges, but I don't think you're going to give it to your fighter. He's going to have a pretty full inventory as it is, so it's just going to save your white mage some charges. It's not as important in this stage as it is in the ones when you don't have any white magic.
Actually, it might be because, remember, if they get promoted to White Wizard, that acts like a ribbon for the White Wizards.
Yeah, you can definitely equip it on one of them for the grants fire resist, I believe, and either status, poison. Yeah, gonna have to go off to Gamer Corner.
Earth is a bust. No masa, no ribbons. So avoiding Earth was the best bet. I bet you everything is gonna be at Mirage and Sky. Meanwhile, Crystal just translated the slab.
A slab from which the brilliant Dr. Ruin manages to not only master the light finish language, but even impart it to the Light Warriors. A true genius.
You know what that means, right? Hello. My name is the town's name Lafayette, and welcome to the Toga Party, everyone.
And in one step, a Tyro. And he allows it to live. That's a live and let live Tristal right there.
Well, we know Tristan's always at 50-50 on the Tyros, but with his weaponry right now, I wouldn't take on a Tyro right now.
Yeah, might not be the greatest idea. He's just going to make quick tracks for Lafane.
And
Are you even going to...
Go ahead, man.
I was going to say, are you even going to bother popping your head into the magic store and see what's at level 8?
Might as well. You never know, because the tail could be lurking at the Sky Castle at this rate.
Show challenging the demon at the depths of the Earth Cave, the Immortal Lich. But the Immortal Lich is usually not too much of a challenge when you take him on this late game, and Show dispatches him without any difficulty.
And I believe Show is gonna go for the Toga Party after he gets restocked.
He finishes learning how to parallel park his aircraft.
So far, there's nothing I see trying to, besides the white shirt. Wait, scratch that. Make that white shirt and black shirt. And I agree with the High Spirits. Tyro is... Whoa! High Spirits! No! Tyro is friend.
We will never reach consensus. There are always the people who would just slaughter an innocent Tyrannosaurus just for its disgusting gamey flesh.
Unless you play the PSP version, which they're not the Tyros, they're called Allosauruses.
Obviously a mistranslation.
There was a ribbon.
There it is. They're going to come thick and strong here. There's a lot of chests between the Mirage Cave and the Temple of Fiends, and the Sky Castle. And it's entirely possible that a second or even possibly third ribbon will be here. Ooh, the Sun Sword. That's a step up from Ice. Not too many swords between that now, and the only better ones are that a knight can equip are the Excalibur and the Massimoon themselves.
And I don't blame Crystal exiting out and saving there, because that ribbon could be coming handy later on in Topher.
Yeah. Have we seen the wall spell? It's one that we don't often pay too close attention to, but it can be pivotal as well if you don't have enough ribbons.
Now that you mention it, I don't remember where the wall... Oh yeah, wall was at level 6, my bad.
Okay. So you might get a charge or two by the end of this game. Perhaps more than that, come to think of it.
So, are we safe to say, High Spirits, that you are Team Steak? Oh shoot!
That's not
good
cool.
News.
That's not good news. We got
Thunder Vampire pack.
Yeah. Fortunately, after only one of them got the thunder off, Crystal was able to fade them away, or harm for them away, whatever the case may be. But you gotta keep your eye out for those. Vampires are one of those great sources of EXP, but they're not gonna be one that you take
Ooh,
to...
we got defense sword sighting.
There it is. Defense is not as powerful as the Sun Sword, but it can be used to cast ruse on the user, so extra evade for your fighter never hurt.
I just wonder how Soul got passed through the first vampire at Earth. Well, Resident J. Cooper saying that defense or some sort is better depends on the level usually. I have to agree with him on that one, actually.
Well, I'm not going to dispute that. I don't know nearly enough of the finer points of the damage calculation to wade into the weeds here, but... In any event, he's kept the Sun Sword equipped.
You know what? I'm gonna pull up something on the sword to see which one has a better crit rate.
Yeah, so of course in the vanilla game on the cartridge the crit rates are broken, but the fixes are turned on, so the crit rates are the way they're supposed to be. I do believe they're actually double what they are officially in the book, because the actual crit rates for the weapons is ridiculously low compared to what their broken values were on the NES cartridge. So to create some semblance of parity with the original result, the crit rates in FFR are double the listed value, but still much lower late game than what they would have been for the weapons towards the end of the table that used to have crazy high crit percentages.
Yeah, which I don't have, unfortunately, because the only thing I have on the weapon equip list on my end is just the damage and hit percent rates. Oh, actually, Quicklet gave us the knowledge drop down. Defense has 5 higher hit rate extra levels, so it'll get one more hit over the Sun Sword.
Right, for every multiple of 32 that your hit rate reaches, you get an extra attack until you reach the 255 limit. So if that 5 extra hit rate you get from the defense hit rate pushes you over the next multiple of 32, you'll get one more strike with the defense, and that can definitely give it the edge over the Sun Sword for that period.
Ooh, but Red Hydras have slow.
But perhaps most importantly, the defense requires class change, and after class change, everyone's going to have the Excalibur, so it's never really going to get its chance to shine.
No one has found the tail.
Nope. So one way or the other, we're looking at either the Sun Sword or the Excalibur, but we're probably not going to see a lot of defense.
Actually, Crystal's going all over the place with the chest checking.
I think he wants another ribbon. He'd love the tail. Got the Aegis shield. He says, I don't need no opal shield.
And we're getting closer and closer to the Bridge of Destiny.
There's
your tail!
It had to be somewhere. There weren't many chests left, because it can't be inside TOFR. It could have, of course, been in one of the places we haven't seen. I don't think Crystal's been to Earth yet, or Crown Locked Marsh, something like that.
Oh, that's right, the 4 chests. Oh, and Show's getting thunder waved.
Yeah. Yeah, those vampires were a bit of a surprise. And we're getting pretty close to an important landmark.
Well, if you got your Bless RNG, incoming War Mech on the Bridge of Destiny, if you can bring him out.
Massive Moon and Power Bonk in the validation chests. I'd like to see that.
That'll be a first.
But instead we get the boring old Mudgole Sorcerer combination. Still got the fingers firmly crossed. Huh? Great Naga, Grey Naga, and some airs. Naocho, just about everything but the War Mech at this point.
Naocho's have snorting though.
And he's through.
Let's see what Lady Tiamat's packing.
Yeah, Tristal cautiously backs his fighter up a couple to throw a few meat shields ahead. Give him a little extra time to lay down some fades and get a few extra swings in.
Oh, jeez Louise. Tiamat has Paratouch.
And enough absorb that the fighter's not going to be contributing too much here. The good news is Cure 4 does cure that status, along with giving you full health.
But Tiamat's hitting hard like a truck.
As long as it's one at a time, this is kind of the battle Tristal wants. And enough fades gets the job done. Tristal lights his air orb. And all he's got left to do is the Earth Cave.
Show Goddess Massa!
I turned my attention away for half a minute, and look what happens.
Is it where Show is right now?
Top left corner.
That is big for Show.
That's a good play. And the power bonk, and he almost walks away. He's like, oh, I don't need that. Wait a minute. Yes, I do. Look at that.
Would you class change at this rate?
Just for the dragon armor and Aegis shield so that you can hand a ribbon off. Zangri points out he doesn't have the tail yet, but if he's checking those chests, I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps checking. Like, see, you could stop. I think he's gonna continue, though.
So, for whoever tried to say...
And as soon as I say this, he immediately stops checking chests. So that's classic me.
Well, looks like Show says, nope, I don't need the tail anymore. I'll just man-force this one.
Yeah. The best defense is a good offense, right? Now you got the Mass Moon and the Power Bonk. You just got the best offense you could get. Leave the ribbon on the fighter. If it has to be a one-man show, it has to be a one-man show.
I'll be right back, man. I'm gonna drink some of my medicine, actually, so be right back.
Cool. Alright, Tristal completes the class change ritual, which does let him put on all that defensive gear he's been hoarding all this time and fire on the Excalibur. But without the power bonk, and we know he's not going to find it either, he's going to have to muscle his way through with this fighter one swing at a time. With no access to temper, or saber, or fast, it's going to be pretty challenging to inflict a lot of physical damage by the end of this game. So you're probably going to see a lot of fading out of his party. Brilliant is one step behind him in the Earth Cave, but Brilliant also has to complete. He has yet to complete the Sky Castle, so we know that he's still a ways off the pace. And Sforzando lights his air orb, So he's caught up as well. And Show, runs into a war mech, but has no time for it. Oh, that's a tragedy.
War mech hype?
War mech hype. It's more like war mech wipe. And he doesn't want a war mech wipe, so he gets out of there. I would say that this run is declared null and void. You might as well just walk away now, but I won't, because that would be incorrect, and he's well within his rights to run away. Just makes him a...
Unless he's gonna go for the validation chest for the last 2 ribbons.
Well, I guess that would make up for it.
Oh, and Trizzle's got Battle the Vampire, but he's in for a rude awakening.
I think the vampire's the only one
Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Blows past him. He's got the rod from Sarda because you can do that. And it's full steam ahead to Lich for him.
If we're just realizing the chest in Earth is getting kind of pointless.
Show's actually got the power bonk equipped. Makes you feel extra strong for actually using the power glove. It also means he's got a bit of a shortage of pro rings.
Where's that armor counter? Oh, and I believe Tristo's about to battle Lich soon, so he can go to Topher after this.
Yeah, he's just finishing off Earth. It hasn't proved much of a challenge for anybody, so we don't anticipate anything going wrong for him here. He's now on Lich's floor. Show's going to have to make haste through water to be on the same pace.
Well, we'll think about it this way, though. He does have ribbons, so he is pretty much on par against Crack.
It all comes down to how quickly Show can scamper through water here. There's some ugly unrunnables that can really chew up your time if you get unlucky. But anyway you slice it, he's definitely behind Tristel now, who should be finishing up Flitch as we speak, and we'll be heading off to the Temple of Fiends Revisited. We're about to tick past the 2-hour mark. It's a good time to recap. Tristel has just finished lighting all 4 orbs and is heading to TOFR. Show is 1 step behind him, has to finish off water, but he's only about a third of the way through it at this point, and he just run into an unrunnable, so he's going to be a few minutes off the pace. Sforzando was about to finish Earth Cave as well. He's a few floors down, but it appears that that's going to leave him behind, and Brilliant is further apart. Sorry, go ahead.
Question in chat. What has been the story of the seed? Well, you want to explain that? What the monster's been packing?
Well, there's been death here and death there, but the real story was the slow start because of the lack of caster items and offensive magic of any sort. Then we had some tricky overworld encounters. Nothing like egregious. There weren't like a lot of party wipes or anything, but the way that the magic led you with Harm 4 coming at level 3 and Fate at level 5, but the lower levels kind of coerced people into heading to Ordeals, which had nothing at all. And then after that, we saw everybody going to the Volcano because of the traditional routing, and it had basically nothing at all. So finally, they had to all go to Ice, where the Crown was, which required completing the Crown quest to get the floater. So it was a long game pre-floater that just about everybody had to endure exactly the same way, and that really slowed us down, but gave them different places to grind. And they all sort of gained their levels in slightly different ways. We had a PvP grind, we had some I grind, we had some Zombie D grind, so it was interesting to see the variety there. And slowly over the course of that, Tristal emerged with a slim lead that he still has over Show.
But Tristal just ran to a set of 4 gas dragons.
And then a slight divergence in Skyfortress that was very interesting. Tristal skipped the floor that had all of the rooms in different directions, the star floor, if you will. And that had the Masamune and the Power Bonk in it, so Tristal didn't get either of those. But on the following floor, he picked up the tail, which allowed him to equip the Dragon Armor and Aegis Shield that everybody has been holding on to the entire game. Sho found the Masamune and the Power Bonk, but then skipped the floor after that, so he won't be able to class change and get the armor. So Tristal's got the weapons and Sho's got the armor. Pardon me, the other way around. Tristal's got the armor, and Sho's got the weapons. But he is still a good couple minutes behind here, as he's going to finish off Kraken and then make haste to TOFR himself.
Ooh, Phantom has Dazzle though, but that doesn't bother Tristal at all.
Tristal does check the validation chest, hoping for a Masamune and Power Bonk, but we know those were back in the Sky Castle, and he just missed them.
Interesting choice. He actually picked up the Light Axe.
It gives him a couple of caster items on his fighter now. He's got Harm 2 and Ruse. I don't think we're going to see much Harm 2, but it's possible.
Well, we don't know what the Girl Medusas are packing though. Oh, the hero run is not going to happen.
The Gurmadusas are packing 1 damage at a time.
And Sho now has all 4 orbs lit, and he's about to head to Topher ASAP.
He's not too far off the pace, but not enough for a tie at this point. He still has to gain ground if he's going to hope for a 0-0.
Well, he might have that chance because actually Tristal just got is about to head to Lich right now, unless Lich is packing maybe a nuclear of some sort.
Yeah. All of the 4 final fiends, Chaos and the Warmax, have their script shuffled together, so you can see a lot of things here. Lich has Fire 3. Does some damage to one of the white mages, but overall, it's not going to slow him down too much. Lich, still being undead, is susceptible to harm, so this will be the easiest fiend to take down, and a single round is all it takes.
Oh, and Sho is actually right behind Tristal by a couple floors.
And Tristal on the fire floor now. This is one of the shorter ones, and you can run away from everything, so it's usually a pretty uneventful floor, at least until carry. Taking no chances, tops up on heals. And starts dipping into the Fade collection. And get some good rolls there with 2 of the Fades doing over 300.
Carry has Bane and wipes one of the mages are gone. Oh man, it shows having struggle with the gas dragons right now.
Yeah, the gas dragons are the ugliest encounter at the beginning of TOFR. Hey, bust up the Zeus Gauntlet to take down one, so looks like he's turned the tide. Thor Hammer, there they go. I just double checked. The white shirt provides death resistance. It's the black shirt that actually provides something different. The white shirt, death and fire. The black shirt, ice.
She'll just exit out saying, nope, I need my charges back. Is it me, or did Trista avoid every water pack possible?
Sho having a bit of a run-in with some bad men here, but he gets away from them. And finishes eluding the water floor. Always pesky. Some unrunnables, which he managed to avoid. Seafood party platter, everything like that. Water floor is the most notorious on the journey down to chaos.
Well, we got a vampire party pack at Brilliant side.
Yeah, those vampires are not to be trifled with when they have thunder in this seed. And we got Tracking 2 on Crystal's screen. Starts with the Invis 2s to lay down a good curtain of evade, each of those giving 40 evade to all your party members. After like 3 casts, that's 120, which is half of the maximum evade you could even have. So it really makes you hard to hit at that point. Nevertheless, Kraken strikes the fighter 6 times for 600 and kills him through that whole thing. So it's going to be the Fade show now. This is dangerous because it's going to chew through a lot of his charges of Fade that he really wanted to keep for some of the later Fiends.
Well, don't forget, Sho's armory is a little bit less appealing compared to Tristle's.
Well, Tristle's the one with the better defensive gear. He's the one that was promoted and has the Dragon Armor and Aegis Shield. Fat lot of good, though, it did against Kraken. Sho was the one with the Masamune and the Power Bomb. So he's probably not as worried about running out of charges because he can elevate his fighter and attack. Crystal survives Kraken 2, but he is really starting to run out of gas. He has 1 charge of Fade left on that White Mage, for example. And probably not many more than that between the other 2.
Yeah, at this rate, I wouldn't try to exit. I was just say, go for it.
Oh yeah, I think the play is to go for it, but does he have what it takes still remaining in the tank in these White Mages?
Kraken looking like he has a high absorb. Not Kraken, Tiamat.
Yeah, question from chat. What's up with the white shirt? So it casts Invis 2 as used as an item, which gives every one of your party 40 evade. And if you equip it, it has the same absorb as a gold bracelet, which is 24 absorb, inferior to the opal by 10, which is 34. But it does provide resistance to fire and to death. Death resistance you usually get from a pro ring, or of course from a ribbon, so the death resistance doesn't come into play that often, but it's still nice to have. The black shirt casts Ice 2 and used as an item, also has 24 absorb if it's equipped on a black wizard, and it provides resistance to ice and to time. And that's curious. There aren't a lot of time attacks in the game, and usually your time resistance from a ribbon. But if you don't have a ribbon, then the black shirt will actually give your black wizard resistance to time too. Zap being the most notorious time spell, but there are others.
Meanwhile, Forzano found a Tyro and is trying to kill it right now, but the Tyro's being a little bit tankier than usual.
And this is where Tristal's going to lose some time. Oh no!
Oh no!
Forget time.
You got Nuke Phil on the loose.
He might just lose everything here. And once again, the announcer's curse. I really apologize. That time resist would be really handy right now, as he's stunned right through it. And a crack, and he's just got cracked right through his ribbons too. Boy, that
is rough, and they gave Soul the opportunity to go forward.
Well, needless to say, that's disheartening for Tristal. But the race isn't over. No one's done yet. He's going to charge right back in there.
Wall is an option, but it's at level 6 Czar.
I don't know if there's many people with any charges. I certainly haven't seen many cast it yet, but that Tiamat was absolutely unsavory. Just left a terrible taste. Oh yeah, he cracked him right through the ribbons, there's no doubt about that. I couldn't believe it. For that to happen to two people with ribbons is, 3 and 256 squared. It's not very likely.
But it gave Soul the opportunity he needed to get in the lead.
Show in the driver's seat in as much as he's got the Mass Moon and the Power Bonk, but he never picked up the tail, so he doesn't have the Dragon Armor or the Aegis Shield on there, so the Absorb on his fighter is not where you want it to be. And with the Kraken 2 that we know is coming, he could be in for a world of hurt. It one-shotted Tristal's Knight, who was partially wounded, I believe, at the time. It would make mincemeat of shows.
Fuchsia, I believe the only person that went back for the wall is actually Sho.
Yeah, he's got lots of charges. I see 4 charges on all 3 white mages. So that may well come into play later down this dungeon.
And another unrunnable for Tristan, though, a couple of worms.
Sforzando's fallen a bit off the pace, but finally has his chime. He'll be heading into Mirage in the Sky Castle now.
Wow, the worms are a pain in this.
There you are. We're about to find out.
Your death touch.
I don't think it was Death Touch. I think Chaos killed Broadster with a single Master Stroke. So let's see how this party does. Oh, the Hero Invis 2 could prove very important here from Show. I saw off stream that it was over very quickly. The Broadster was only on one night when he got here. So with a full party, this could be different.
Chaos has Rub.
Audio is back on stream.
Alright, sorry about that, folks. We're back.
We're back.
Show
And
power
not a
blocking.
moment too soon.
Oh, Show's
Throwing
going
up the
for
wall.
wall strats. Good move.
Chaos misses his fighter, which is good news.
The Absorb is pretty much garbanzo on Chaos. But his magic resistance is pretty high.
Now it looks like it's going to flip over and fall to the fighter to take down this one. Pretty good damage out of those fades. And that's it.
It sure does it!
You can put a fork in this one. Sho Fukumachi takes down Chaos with an official SRL time of 2:21.40. Good enough for first place in this Stage 6 race. And after a breather, we'll try to get Sho in for a little post-race chit-chat. Be exciting to see his side of it.
What a seed that was thrown out today.
Yeah, and a lot of endgame drama. We were very close to yet another, like, 0-0-0-1 kind of first and second race, but Sho managed to actually pull it off on his first pass through, so he takes the cake when Tristal and Broadster, who both got there first, wiped somewhere along the way in TOF. It's about as close as a race can get.
Yeah, meanwhile, Tristal's on Kraken 2 right now. Oh, and for those who are in chat, raise your RNGs, guys, because Vormec on Bridge of Destiny must appear if you want him to appear.
And joining us in chat is Sho Fukumachi. GG, Sho.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I won.
Yeah, you snuck that one right under the noses of Brilliant and Tristal, who both wiped in Temple of Fiends before you got to Chaos.
Oh, really? Wow.
Also, you were about to be sniped by Broster, but he wiped the Chaos on the first go.
Yeah, he got there a minute ahead, or maybe 2 minutes ahead of you, but he only had one night left and got one-shotted by Chaos somehow before he got any kind of invis or anything like that off, so...
Ouch.
Open the door for you, yeah.
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than be good.
It worked out this time. So, how do you feel about the early game routing in this one?
Well, it was funny because what was it? Imps had cremate. That was annoying. And like everything early had something, which made it quite annoying. I was pretty happy that I got to Temple of Fiends and was able to grab that money and get back without like dying. So, yeah. But yeah, it was definitely slow going. I'm really glad I found those ribbons and the power bonk and the moss moon in Sky Castle.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal coincidence. So Tristal skipped that floor in particular, and on the next floor found the tail. Meanwhile, you picked up the Masamoon and the Power Bonk and then stopped checking chests and didn't get the tail. So you guys were charging into Temple of Fiends, and he had the Dragon Armor and the Aegis Shield, and you had the Masamoon and the Power Bonk, and we were wondering which way it was going to go. This is the way it went.
Offense or defense?
It was pretty exciting to watch, but he ran into some bad luck and got beaten down by Tiamat too.
What was it? I was looking for either the tail, so I could use the Dragon Armor, Excalibur, and Aegis Shield, or the Moss Moon and Power Bonk, or something, just so I could like do some damage. Because the last race I did yesterday, I went in with the defense sword, and that was the best sword that I found. And I had the Power Bonk, and I ended up like getting third place by like 20 minutes or something. It was pretty bad.
Well, you made up for it tonight.
Yeah, I will take my 0 and be happy. Gonna go first.
Yeah.
So
there you go. You got fans left, right, and center, man.
I do.
So,
what's up?
Did you know that you avoided great tragedy at Kraken 2?
Did Kraken 2 have something like
Nuclear.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I'm so glad. Well, he one punched one of my mages for like 600 damage. I was like, oh boy. And then he kept critting, So he got through like all my invises, which was also annoying. So I was quite afraid when I got to Kraken 2 because I was like, well, he's gonna do a lot of damage, obviously because he did all that. And then like he was critting a lot. I was like, well, I hope I can survive this because if he's critting all this time, I may not survive this fight, even if he were just to punch me to death. So
Hashtag shows happy in IRL fans are now trending on Twitter.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
That is not true. I do not have the power to make that happen. But if I could have, I would.
it could happen. It could happen because it's Twitter and all.
Did anyone else run into Warmech?
Brilliant.
No.
Brilliant.
No, he did? I thought he...
Yeah.
Huh.
He ran like a girl.
Everybody ran like a chicken, man. His whole party is female. That's not a very insightful statement. He just ran like a coward.
Yeah.
A coward.
Because I got that, I got the Warmech, and I was like, of course I would get the Warmech. Did anyone else, like, grind? Because I did a Peninsula Power grind, getting Harm 4 and stuff. Of course, I did it.
It was like
late.
Grind City everywhere.
Yeah, you, Tristal, I think it's Forzondo, all did a little Peninsula Power grind. Brilliant said nuts to that. He was our other on-stream runner, charged into the Mirage, got out of there with everything at level 4, and went to Ordeals, and then did a little bit of a zombie grind. But then when everybody ended up going to Ice, because the last place anybody wanted to check was Ice, but you had to go there for the crown, he decided to pack up some eyes. And Tristal did that too, because the eye was like a joke.
Paper. Yeah, it was.
By the way, Tiamat is about to kill Tristal completely.
Oh. Well, he's got Excalibur, so it should be not terrible.
If you got Excalibur, you got a chance. He's also got the Dragon Armor and the Aegis Shield.
And I ended up baiting Tiamat, too, I think.
Yeah, I saw that. I was pretty hyped.
The Bane strat worked this time. So
3% of the time. It's like 1.4% of the time. Works every time.
it works every time. So I'm pretty happy that the Bane strats worked.
Guys, did you realize that Tristal's on solo knight strats?
Well,
This is-
I mean, his defense is going to be really good if he picked up Dragon and Aegis and the Ribbon. So
I like how this game existed at a time when like being able to instantly kill bosses was something that someone was like, yeah, as long as it's only like 1% of the time, that's fine.
yeah,
Like that has never existed in a game since this. So it's a uniquely Final Fantasy thing. Oh well, 1%, fine, go for it. And there it is. One of the exciting patches coming up in the future that we always like to hype is making the XFR spell work by making enemy resistances actually work. So be real time in battles. So that, if cast on Chaos, has a about a 25% chance of landing.
Oh my god.
And if you XFR Chaos, all of a sudden, instead of a 1.4% chance, you have almost a 6% chance of bracking him. So that could be another avenue to destroying Chaos for races where that flag is enabled. We don't yet know as a community if that's going to be a game-breaking change, so there's no guarantees that it will ever become something that you see a lot in races, but it might. And that's fun to look forward to.
I had a lot of unrunnables in Topher, like Frost Giants, Gas Dragons.
Ooh,
I was like,
nuke from Chaos.
Oh.
Sorry to interrupt there. Yeah.
Nits,
well,
there was
there's
something
one.
more. There was more than this nuke.
Oh no.
There was a rub and a zap.
It's all over.
Double nuke. Oh no.
Oh, and guys, Tristal has forfeited from the race.
Ouch. That's rough.
Yeah.
That is definitely
Just-
rough.
Tough luck after tough luck. He was leading for a little bit there, and then the wheels just kind of came off for him. And after a couple of wipes in Temple of Fiends, he's decided to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
That leaves Brotzer on the water floor off stream. Brilliant on the water floor on stream. And Sportsondo fighting some zombie Ds.
Is it? Did anyone check the vanilla TNT chests in Marsh? Or crown, whatever, is in the wizard chest?
Yeah, it was just a bunch of gold, man.
Well, I'm glad I skipped it then.
But there was so much route divergences. There was even someone even checked that one chest at Sea Shrine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sforzando found a wooden stick in it, which is kind of appropriate.
Oh, no. Yeah, like, this stage has been really interesting, you know, especially for me. Obviously, prefer black belts, but, you know, I have learned a lot racing 3 white mages and a fighter. I try to be as well-rounded as possible when I race, for sure. I've definitely learned some things doing this. So it is nice to have fast. It is nice to have nuke.
Yeah,
very nice.
No doubt. This seed has forced a lot of people to learn some new tricks because none of the usual suspects are there. You're never going to have temper. You're never going to have fast. You're never going to have nuke.
Yeah.
And those are the ones you just pointed out, and that, of course, makes you think differently about how much leveling you need, what gear you need, what routes you're going to take.
Yeah. And also, even with the enemy percentage only being at 220, like, going in at 21 is still pretty scary, but with the knight, if you have, you know, good armor and a good weapon, you should do fairly well. But yeah, if anything rolls like a high evade, then it's gonna be tough. Like, because knights, you know, fighter and knights are very gear dependent when it comes to damage. So, but yeah.
By the way, Show, how do you like the seed I threw out against you guys?
Well, I was definitely worried at the beginning with, like, you know, everything having something, glare or cremate or lit 2 ogres. I was like, wow, could everything just have something? Which I thought was also good because I knew that other people were hopefully suffering the same fate. I mean, I ended up, I hit level 2 by killing wolves. I think that was the go-to strat for me. So, is anybody else finished? No one else is finished.
No, you
You're the first one, Show.
You put up the serious pull time. Like, anybody else hoping for a low chaos point score tonight isn't going to get it anymore.
Well, I mean, at 221, I mean...
Oh, sure. You can still get sub 0.1. I just mean, like, we're not having a photo finish like we've had.
Whoa. Sorry to interrupt you guys, but Lich had Thunder as well.
Oh my gosh.
Surprisingly deadly Lich. Fire 3 too, but not enough health to slow anybody down.
No respect to Lich.
No, never any respect to Lich.
How do you like your Thunder Vampires, Show?
Gosh, not only that, they hit hard too. I'm glad I didn't see a lot of them. So that is what I'm happy about. I'm gonna step out. I'm a little sick, so I don't want to.
Yeah, you better get out of here before I catch your cold. Yeah.
I will stay in in the chat though. But,
any final thoughts before we depart?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to round 7 next week, which is the Useful Thief. So, and that changed too. I think they're keeping spell permissions on, so no one's gonna have exit or warp, regardless of the party they choose. And yeah, that'll make things interesting. And of course, everyone's favorite, the I hate round 1, round 8 of the low boost, but at least it'll be open party, so you'll hopefully see some different things going to that.
Yeah, and making tail mandatory too. That'll
jazz
it up.
Yeah. That's correct. Oh yeah, right. looking forward to that. So GG's to hopefully everyone else who finishes, and I'll see you guys. I'll stay in chat.
All right. Well, congrats on the win once again.
Right, thank you very much. I'll see you guys later.
Well, we're down to our 2 racers on the stream right now, which is, of course, Forzondo and Brilliant. Well, Master Brilliant is on Tiamat, who right now, let's see if he can survive a nuke. or even worse, something death-threatening. Nits, any words from Broadster on your side?
Broadster's taking on Tiamat 2 right now. Still has his whole party alive. Almost frame for frame lined up with Brilliant kind of thing.
Yeah, but question is, will he get the will he be able to regain himself against Chaos? And meanwhile, Forzondo just finished Carry 2. He's on his way to Kraken 2 right now. Excuse me?
Yeah, knowing what we know about Tiamat 2 and Chaos to some degree, there's still no reason he can't catch either of them. They could easily wipe again. Broadster did finish Tiamat 2 and is now going to take on Chaos for a second time. With the full party this time, he should have better result, though.
And Forzondo just ran to a 3 water party pack right now.
Brilliant getting a little spell selective here, trying to make the right moves and finish off this Tiamat fight.
And Tiamat just nuked Brilliant party!
Oh, and then the big swing, 650, takes down Tiamat, still has one white mage hanging on, which means he should be able to restore back to a full party. Because that's what this stage gives you. It gives you a party that can always come back.
But Forzondo's been running to these water packs. Right now he just has a 6-pack.
A 6-pack of water? What is that, like a Bud Light?
It could be worse.
Could be Coors Light.
Wow, did you see what Show said in the chat just now? Oh, and Brilliant's about to face the chaos fight of the century.
Oh yeah, Nick. Thanks. Taking pot shots at mainstream beer is just a hobby that gets me into trouble sometimes. Also, lots of Simpsons references.
We are not at those, man. Come on.
We thought you were taking moments of quiet reflection, Show. We were wondering if you were just going to put down your weapons and walk away. That's what we were wondering. One in the ice cave, one during a battle. Just right in the middle of the battle, just stop for a moment's peace.
Ooh, but Chaos seen a white mage for 240.
And he's got a couple of Invis 2s off. I don't think he's going to stop laying those down. Or maybe it's time to get the fades out. It doesn't really matter whether you cast your fades first or second, as long as you live to get them off. He's out of charges there. Do some walling up.
Oh, and with the SRL time of 2 hours and 41 minutes and 11 seconds, Brosser just got second place.
That was a hard-fought second. Brilliant might be right on his heels for third here. We'll see if we can get brought into chat. If he's interested, give us a little rundown of his off-stream race to Chaos. He came within a hair's breadth of winning this one, and obviously Chaos shut him down in the final steps. So we'll see what he can say about that.
Ooh, but Chaos brings out the zap right now, and it didn't land a single thing on Brilliant's party.
Now, between the ribbons and the walls, he should be pretty safe from that kind of stuff. You almost want to see the instant death attacks when you're fully protected. I mean, you don't want to fight that kind of bad luck, but it's almost better than if he's busting out things like Nuke.
Chaos with the nuke!
I have been cursed tonight. Like, everything I've said has basically happened, so I should probably shut up, but that wouldn't make for very much of a commentator, would it?
We are brought in by Brot. GD to you, sir.
Thanks. Good game to show.
He took it from you. Can you walk us through? You were off stream. Can you walk us through how it all went down at the end of your run the first time you were into UFR?
Yeah, I decided to not waste my time getting life for my fighter, and it cost me. I killed Tiamat my first run through with just my fighter left. And then Chaos rubbed me on round 1. So then I went and got life and then came back, and it was pretty good the second run through, no real problems.
Did he rub you right through a ribbon? Did you have one?
So I had one ribbon, and I double checked to make sure everything was right on my fighter before I started, and I forgot to equip my ribbon off my white mage. So yeah,
Bummer.
Oh well. But it was actually a pretty interesting seed. I ended up going back to the first town to get silver hammers to fight the pirates. Went to Ordeals first. I'm sure most people did because of Harm 4.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about in the commentary, was the natural inkling to go to Ordeals.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody kind of had the natural inkling to go to Volcano because of all the chests there. And then finally everybody went to Ice. And by the time all of our on-stream runners had picked up the crown from Ice, they were almost all in exactly the same situation. So was your route similar to that?
I went to Ice before Volcano. But
Interesting.
I was pretty slow at the beginning. So yeah, like I'm sure I was pretty far behind.
Well, you were and you weren't, because we popped in a couple times to look, and you were always close. You were a little bit behind Tristle by the end, but he wiped on Tiamat too. And so that allowed you and Sho to move ahead.
Oh yeah, once or twice, or?
Just once before you, and then once after Sho, he wiped again, and then he forfeited on the second wipe.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually crowned into floater, and then I got slabbed before I went to any of the 4 fiends. So I went to air first, got ribbon, tail. So I got the sun sword and a ribbon, I believe.
Yeah, on the first floor of Mirage, right?
And then I was just going. I checked the first floor of air. Once you get through the tower, just the right side, and then I skipped the second floor, and then the third floor I went up, found the tail, and then I checked the 4 chests that are easy to find to check. Right at the end there, right before Tiamat, and then yeah, I only had one. I was only able to get one charge of spells for my fighter, and unfortunately Roos wasn't available. But no, this was actually a pretty interesting seed. I liked it a lot.
And we are joined by Brilliant. GG Brilliant.
Thank you. That was a fun one.
Yeah, close third and a strong finish in a tight pack. We had you on stream, so we saw most of the action. You were right with the leaders for the good first hour or so of the seed. What did you think about the lay of the land, kind of leading you guys around through Ordeals, then the Volcano, and then Ice?
Oh, Ordeals wasn't good for much, but I got a lot of experience grinding on the zombie trees. As far as, I kind of wanted to go to Ice, but I didn't, and, well, that's just how it goes. But when I saw what the Agamas did, I figured I probably had a better shot.
What I really liked about this seed was that everything, like the zombies, you had a lot of decisions to make. Like, you could have went to Peninsula of Power if you were, like, patient, because I think it was the 4th encounter and, like, the 7th encounter were either zombies and trolls or just zombies. So if you were patient, you get a few levels there. But yeah, a lot of decision making on when to level, for sure.
By the way, for Zondo is on solo night strat against Chaos.
He's got the Mass Moon to work with.
Where was the Mass Moon?
It was in the top left corner room in sort of the first floor of the Sky Castle with treasures, or the star area where there's rooms in every direction. It was in the top
worst,
left one.
As I like to refer to, the worst room in the game.
The top left one in that.
Yeah.
What?
That's my least favorite place to check in the entire game. It's so inefficient.
Yeah, but it paid.
Yeah, that's where Mass Moon was, and the
power gauntlet was in the room right below it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good floor for gear.
So, an example of decisions that had to be made in this seed, for me anyways, was when I found Fade, I had to make a decision to get it now or wait. I could buy one charge of it, but what I decided to do is to sell the dragon armor to afford charges for both my other white mages. Just to have it right away, because my thinking was if I go to Ordeals, and if I get a couple levels, then I'll be able to get one fade charge, so I can exit out, use a house, go back in, right?
Sforzano hanging on by a thread here. Sorry to interrupt, but we've got a tight one.
Oh no! The nuke just wiped him out, and he is officially forfeited.
That's a wrap.
What a chaos fight right there.
Oh, what a tragic finish. He lost all his white mages before. He didn't have any casts of life because he didn't go get them. Had to take on Chaos with a one-man show, and unfortunately not up to the task. The second nuke brings him down. Thus wraps up our Stage 6 race here at about the 2 hour and 50-minute mark. If you stuck around with us for the full 250, thanks a lot. If you're interested in the game, if you're a newcomer, do check out our Discord or FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. It's a great place to get started. The game's a lot of fun. It plays well, and it's about the 2 hour and 50-minute mark. If you stuck around with us for the full 2.
Well, any last words from anyone?
Bratzer?
Oh, Bronzer's gone.
And Brilliant?
No thoughts from me.
And my partner, Chitin?
All I get to say is I am so sorry about the mice, guys, but hey, a Kaifun seed is a Kaifun seed.
Yeah, it was a nasty one. We had a lot of painful Temple of Fiends revisited forfeits come out of this one, and that's how it's going to end tonight. So for everyone here in the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, I'd like to thank our restreamer Randomania and J.K. Allen in particular, and Zangri for our tracker, Chitin, my fellow commentator, for all of us. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Night, everyone.